There was a time, not so long ago, when the skies of North America came alive with a sight beyond imagination. Flocks so vast they darkened the sun, their wing beats like rolling thunder, their passing lasting for hours, even days. These were the passenger pigeons, creatures once so abundant that they numbered in the billions. No bird in history had ever ruled the skies as they did. The passenger pigeon's kingdom stretched from the Atlantic coast to the Great Plains, and from the Gulf of Mexico to the forests of Canada. Here, in towering hardwood forests, they found everything they needed: acorns, beech nuts, berries, and seeds. Each autumn, they descended on the land like a tide, stripping trees bare in a single day. No fruit was safe, no field untouched. They were nature's unstoppable force. Sleek, swift, and elegant, the passenger pigeon was built for speed. Males wore coats of blue-gray, with chests glowing reddish bronze, their long tails fanning like ribbons in the wind. Females were quieter in color, softer shades of gray and brown. But it was not their beauty alone that astonished those who saw them. It was their power. These birds could cut through the sky at 60 miles per hour, a torrent of life too vast for the human mind to measure. Imagine a flock so immense that it takes an entire afternoon to pass. A sky filled edge to edge, horizon to horizon with wings. Travelers wrote of them, blotting out the midday sun, of voices so deafening that people had to shout to be heard. Branches cracked under their weight when they settled to roost. The ground itself, carpeted in droppings, could be buried beneath them. They were not a collection of individuals, but a single living storm. The passenger pigeon lived in a society of overwhelming numbers. They bred in colonies stretching for miles, with millions of nests packed tightly together. Each nest was simple, a loose pile of twigs balanced in the branches. But from this humble cradle came a new life. Only one egg was laid by each female, a fragile gift guarded by both parents. The chick grew quickly, fed on a rich crop milk secreted from the throats of its mother and father. Within weeks, it was strong enough to take its place among the swirling masses. Of course, danger was never far. Hawks, eagles, raccoons, snakes, all took their share. But what predator could hope to halt a billion birds? Their sheer abundance overwhelmed the natural world. They were invincible, or so it seemed. In the 19th century, the greatest predator of all arrived in force: humans. What had once been hunted only for local needs became the target of an industrial machine. The rise of cities created a hunger for cheap meat, and the passenger pigeon provided it. They were shot by the thousands, netted by the ton, stuffed into barrels and shipped by train to feed markets across the nation. Entire flocks were slaughtered in a single day.
And as the forests fell to logging, the birds lost not just their food, but their vast nesting grounds. For a species that relied on great numbers for survival, the shrinking of their colonies was a death sentence. One egg per season, one chick per nest. This slow rhythm of life could not keep pace with the speed of destruction. By the dawn of the 20th century, what was once a storm of wings had dwindled to silence. The last wild passenger pigeon was shot in Ohio in 1901. 13 years later, in a cage at the Cincinnati Zoo, the very last of her kind drew her final breath. Her name was Martha. On September 1, 1914, with her passing, the passenger pigeon became a ghost of history. The passenger pigeon story is a warning carved into history. No matter how abundant, no species is beyond the reach of extinction. In less than a century, humanity erased the most numerous bird on Earth. Today, we remember them not only as a tragedy, but as a lesson that abundance must never be mistaken for security. For if we forget, the skies may one day fall silent again. Once, they were billions. Today, they are memory. The passenger pigeon, forever lost, yet never forgotten. Make sure to like, comment, and share.